Here's the secret formula of genius in as few words as possible. Pretty much, here's the equation. It's experience plus knowledge equals genius. The way that you get that, obviously, is the experience is the 10,000 hours that you put in, but included into the 10,000 hours of actually going out there and doing whatever you want to do. So say that you want to become an excellent farmer. Are you going to do it by reading about seed theory the entire time? Yes, that's part of it. Surprise! But the other massive component of it is obviously experience. It's the same as anything in life. It's if you read the theory of walking, you wouldn't be able to walk, but you'd have an immense understanding of it, which will help you out better in the future for making those distinctions quicker, and you'll understand them on a more profound level. So you definitely need to study your subject of whatever you're doing proficiently. In fact, maybe you should even think of it separately like this. If you want to become a genius at anything, definitely the 10,000 hour rule applies, in the sense that you have to put in 10,000 hours to get to whatever level of standard that you want to get to. If you want to be in the highest top 5%, that's what you have to do. Put in 10,000 hours, guaranteed. But if you think about it, more than that is that if you put in maybe 3 hours a day, a couple of them being experience and 1 hour of them reading, you will be on to a great formula for success. That's the equation. 2/3 action, 1/3 studying. That's the book equation that you should be up to in your daily endeavors with whatever you want to do. I don't know what it is, but let's exclude all that and say that we're talking about Kanye West, for example. I don't like it all, and you don't have to either. That's fine. Learn from his examples and his greatness, except for he's not a good rapper at all. Let's just get that out of the table, isn't it? He's kind of just Jay-Z's slightly worse brother that's just there. He has that kind of vibe of being like, oh, my name's Tony, I'm related to Jay-Z. So, but what he is amazing at is producing. You know why he's great at producing? Because he copied Dr. Dre. He sat at home in his little beat lab and made all of the same exact beats that Dr. Dre did, down to the T, copying them precisely. He could have just downloaded it like the rest of us and rapped over the top of it, but he wanted to be able to produce his own recordings better than pretty much anybody else in the game at the moment. Is that Kanye West, even though I think his beats are kind of like hipster and wanky, but most people seem to dig them, don't they? The reason that he was able to do that, the reason that he's able to master it so much is because he learned the fundamentals. He sat there practicing day in and day out. This is how Dr. Dre did it. Oh, okay, now I understand these principles so I can work on it in the future and then make my own style when I got to the level that I can actually do that. That's what he did. He also read a bunch of books on the matter. Definitely any book that he had that was about a rapper, any books that were about a producer, any of those like My Story, Get Out of Riches. He read all of those books. He's on record for saying that. And that's why he's great at what he does now. You can do exactly the same thing as well. There's nothing stopping you, even if you say, but I have a job in 9 to 5. Yeah? Well, what happens when you go home? Oh, I watch TV and YouTube. Mad. Awesome. You're on the road to success. Here's the basic principle for today's workaday world, is that you work 40 hours just to survive. How sad is that? But there's 80 hours in a week that you should be implementing time into. So you've got another 40 hours that you can be accumulating a genius in a field that you are passionate about. So eventually when you do get a chance in that field, you can go, boom, I'm the Usain Bolt of this. So you'd be that awesome in comparison to everybody else who you're competing against, because you've been putting in the time while they've all been out socializing needlessly at bars, going, oh yeah, let's get drunk on a Saturday, that's the best idea ever. Who's up for McDonald's thick shakes? That's mad. Going out, getting drunk, and then clogging your pores, arteries, and brain with sugar on top of killing them with brain cells. That's your Saturday! And you're sitting there at home going, well, according to Dr. Dre, if you just amp up this bass here, who's gonna be a better producer, y'all? Yeah, but whatever you want to do in your life, you can apply exactly the same thing. Do it. You will not regret it. Just the self-esteem that you get from having that level of discipline exceeds anything that you get for going out going, yay, party, will you go out with me? No, alright, it's your loss, dude, I'm fat and I'm not accumulating any wealth at all, but yeah, it's your loss. You are going to be able to catch all of them flies, be it a boy or a girl, whatever you're into. You are able to do that if you go out and discipline yourself to sit there and spend most of your time accumulating a skill in one area. Because here's the other great fact of life, is that if you are really good at one thing. Everybody assumes that you're a genius at everything. Not the case at all, usually, unless you're Leonardo da Vinci. Most people, basically, Albert Einstein, for instance, pretty much the greatest physicist we've ever known, just couldn't really tie his shoes until he was about 7. But he was a genius, wasn't he? Because he spent most of his time just thinking about things that were just nobody else was. And so while everybody else was getting their driver's license and going out clothes shopping, he was sitting there going, what would it be like to be on a beam of light? That's what you could be doing as well. You could be at that level right now. There's nothing stopping you. Just get into the habit. Get into the habit of accumulating a skill.